Hi everyone, it's Rob again. I'm going to take a few minutes today to go over with you how to solve promissory notes. We're going to use compound interest when we're doing these, which is what we normally do in the course. So let's have a look. What are promissory notes? Well, they're really just IOUs or contracts between a borrower and a lender, which state how much was borrowed, when it's going to be repaid, and what interest rate will be used. So the interesting thing about these is they say what's borrowed, not what's going to be paid back. So if we want to figure out what's going to be paid back, we're going to have to use the interest rate that they give us to work that out. Okay, so the interesting thing for us though is along the way, before the note's paid back, they're sometimes sold to a third party, another person, and we want to figure out what that person would pay. Now what's that person going to get? Well, they're going to get the maturity value of the original note, so that's what they're going to base their price on. So let's have a look. We're going to need a couple formulas for these. If we want to add interest or move forward to find the maturity value of an amount, this is the formula we use. FE is PV times 1 plus I to the power of n. And if we want to move backwards in time or find out an earlier amount, we're solving for PV, and this is a formula we use. The exponent here is negative n because we're going backwards in time. So here's an example. Let's say that Joe borrowed $2,000 from Rob and agreed to repay the loan in 3 years with interest calculated at 6% compounded semi-annually. That's what the J2 means, semi-annually. Now 1 year after the original loan date, Rob sold the contract to Sherry. Let's figure out what Sherry would pay if she wanted a return on her money of 4.8% compounded monthly. That's what the J12 means, 4.8% a year compounded 12 times per year or monthly. All right. So I'm going to set up a little timeline first. At today at 0, and I'm going all the way out to 3 years here. That's when the loan is supposed to be paid back, or when the promissory note is due. So Joe borrowed $2,000 from Rob, so that's at the beginning, and he's going to pay that back with interest at 6% at the 3-year mark. We have to first find the maturity value of the loan to see what Joe is really supposed to pay Rob at that 3-year point. Now, how far in the future is that if we work out our different variables? Well, n is 6 periods because we're doing compounding twice a year here. It's semi-annual, so 3 years times twice a year, 6 periods. And the interest rate per period is 3% or 0.03. So let's see. Let's first work out that maturity value. That's a future value. That's PV times 1 plus I to the n. Well, in this case, $2,000 carried forward at 3% for 6 periods. We end up with $2,388.10. Now that's exactly what Joe would repay Rob if Sherry never came into the picture at all. He borrows $2,000. He's going to pay Rob back $2,388.10 in 3 years and be all done. But Rob doesn't want to wait 3 years. Maybe he needs his money for something else, or he's got a better deal he can work on. So he's going to sell the contract now to Sherry after 1 year. So how do we figure out what Sherry would pay at this point? Well, we're going to have to take that maturity value back to the 1 year mark, aren't we? Now, we're dealing with different rates here and different compounding frequencies. We're going back 2 years, from 3 back to 1. That's 2 years. 12 compounding periods per year, so 24 periods or 24 months. And the rate per period is 0.4%. That's 1/12 of that 4.8%, so 0.004, because again we're compounding monthly. So that's our step 2, is to work out that price. That's really going to be the present value of the $2,388.10. Here it is with the numbers in place. We're going to go back 24 months at the rate that Sherry would like, and we work out a price of $2,169.92. So Sherry would be willing to give Rob $2,169.92 after 1 year. And then Rob's all done. He leaves. He's made a little bit of interest. What's in it for Sherry? Well, she pays $2,169. She waits 2 more years until we get to year 3, and she gets $2,388 back. So she's made her money. That works out to 4.8% compounded monthly on her investment. And that's exactly what she wanted. That's what you have to do for promissory notes. It's just that easy. Always 1-2. First find the maturity value, then bring that back to the date of the sale, And remember, for each step you have to use the appropriate interest rate that's in effect for that part of the agreement. If you'd like to use this video, you're more than welcome to under the terms of Creative Commons. No commercial, no derivative works. If you're not sure how that works, you can visit the Creative Commons website, or you can contact me directly and I'll help you out as well. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time.